Counters. Counters. A digital counter is a set of flip-flops whose state changes in response to pulses applied at the input to the counter. The flip-flops are interconnected such that their combined state at any time is the binary equivalent of the total number of pulses that have occurred up to that time. Thus, as its name implies, a counter is used to count pulses. A counter can also be used as a frequency divider to obtain waveforms with frequencies that are specific fractions of the clock frequency. They are also used to perform the timing functions as in digital watches, to create time delays, to produce non-sequential binary counts, and to generate pulse trains, and to act as frequency counters, etc. Counters can be of two types: asynchronous counters or synchronous counters. Asynchronous counters are also called as ripple counters. Different types of counters are asynchronous counters and synchronous counters. In asynchronous counters, the flip-flops are connected in such a way that output of the first flip-flop drives the clock for the second flip-flop. The output of the second acts as the clock of the third, and so on. But in the case of synchronous counters, there is no connection between output of the first flip-flop and the clock input of the next flip-flop. In the case of asynchronous counters, all the flip-flops are not clocked simultaneously, while in the synchronous counters, all the flip-flops are clocked simultaneously. The main drawback of asynchronous counters is their low speed, as the clock is propagated through a number of flip-flops before it reaches the last flip-flop. In the case of synchronous counters, since clock is applied to all the flip-flops simultaneously, the total propagation delay is equal to the propagation delay of only one flip-flop, and hence they are faster. A counter may be an up counter or a down counter. An up counter is a counter which counts in the upward direction, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. A down counter is a counter which counts in the downward direction, that is n, n minus 1, n minus 2, etc. up to 0. Each of the counts of the counter is called the state of the counter. The number of states through which the counter passes before returning to the starting state is called the modulus of the counter. Hence, the modulus of a counter is equal to the total number of distinct states or counts, including 0, that a counter can store. In other words, the number of input pulses that causes the counter to reset to its initial count is called the modulus of the counter. Since a 2-bit counter has 4 states, it is called a mod 4 counter. It divides the input clock frequency by 4. Therefore, it is also called a divide by 4 counter. It requires 2 flip-flops. Similarly, a 3-bit counter uses 3 flip-flops and has 2 raised to 3, which is equal to 8 states. It divides the input clock frequency by 2 raised to 3, that is 8. In general, an n-bit counter will have n flip-flops and 2 raised to n states and divides the input frequency by 2 raised to n. Hence, we can say it is a divide by 2 raised to n counter. A counter may have a shortened modulus. This type of counter does not utilize all the possible states. Some of the states are unutilized or invalid. A counter which goes through all the possible states before restarting is called full modulus counter. A counter in which the maximum number of states can be changed is called the variable modulus counter. The final state of a counter sequence is called the terminal count. In shortened modulus counters, there may occur the problem of lockout. That is, sometimes when the counter is switched on or any time during counting, because of this noise spikes or some disturbances, the counter may find itself in some unused or invalid state. Application of subsequent clock pulses may cause the counter to move from one unused state to another unused state, and the counter may never come to a valid state. So the counter becomes useless. A counter whose unused state have this feature is said to suffer from the problem of lockout. To ensure that at startup the counter is in its initial state, external logic circuitry is provided which properly resets each flip-flops. The logic circuitry for resetting the counter to its initial state can be provided either by obtaining an expression for reset or preset for the flip-flops or by modifying the design such that the counter goes from each invalid state to the initial state after the clock pulse. Now we can see asynchronous counters. 2-bit asynchronous counter which counts in the upward direction, which is called as 2-bit ripple up counter using negative edge triggered flip-flops. The 2-bit up counter counts in the order 0, 1, 2, 3, again 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. It goes on. That is, the states are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Again, the states are 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, etc. The figure shows a 2-bit ripple up counter using negative edge triggered JK flip-flops and its timing diagram. The counter is initially reset to 0, 0. When the first clock pulse is applied, FF1 toggles at the negative going edge of this pulse. Therefore, Q1 goes from low to high at the negative edge. This becomes a positive going signal at the clock input of FF2. So, FF2 is not affected and hence the state of the counter after one clock pulse is Q1 is equal to 1 and Q2 equal to 0. That is 0, 1. At the negative going edge of the second clock pulse, FF1 toggles. So, Q1 changes from high to low. And this negative going signal applied to clock of FF2 activates the flip-flop 2 and hence Q2 goes from low to high. Therefore, Q1 equal to 0 and Q2 equal to 1. That is 1, 0 is the state of the counter after the second clock pulse. At the negative going edge of the third clock pulse, FF1 toggles. So, Q1 changes from 0 to a 1. This becomes a positive going signal to FF2 and hence FF2 is not affected. Therefore, Q2 equal to 1 and Q1 equal to 1. That is, 1, 1 is the state of the counter after the third clock pulse. At the negative going edge of the fourth clock pulse, FF1 toggles. So, Q1 goes from a 1 to a 0. This negative going signal at Q1 toggles FF2. Hence, Q2 also changes from a 1 to a 0. Therefore, Q2 equal to 0 and Q1 equal to 0. That is, 0, 0 is the state of the counter after the fourth clock pulse. For subsequent clock pulses, the counter goes through the same sequence of states. So, it acts as a mode 4 counter with Q1 as the least significant bit and Q2 as the most significant bit. The counting sequence thus becomes 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, again 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, etc. 2-bit ripple down counter using negative edge triggered flip-flops. A 2-bit down counter counts in the order 0, 3, 1, 2, 0, 3, etc. That is 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, again 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, again it goes on. The figure shows a 2-bit ripple down counter using negative edge triggered JK flip-flops where the value of J and K are connected to 1, that is a toggle condition, and its timing diagram. For down counting, the connection Q1 bar of FF1 is connected to the clock of FF2 and Q2 bar will be connected to next flip-flop's clock. Let initially all the flip-flops be reset, that is count be 0, 0. At the negative going edge of the first clock pulse, f of 1 toggles. So, Q1 goes from a 0 to a 1 and Q1 bar goes from a 1 to a 0. As we know, Q1 bar is a complement of Q1. This negative going signal at Q1 bar applied to the clock input of f of 2 toggles f of 2 and therefore Q2 goes from a 0 to a 1. So after one clock pulse, Q2 will be equal to 1 and Q1 will be equal to 1. That is, the state of the counter is 1 1. So from the state 0 0, it moves to the state 1 1. At the negative going edge of the second clock pulse, Q1 changes from a 1 to a 0 and Q1 bar from a 0 to a 1. This positive going signal at Q1 bar does not affect f of 2 and therefore Q2 remains at 1. Hence, the state of the counter after the second clock pulse is 1 0. At the negative going edge of the third clock pulse, f of 1 toggles. So, Q1 goes from a 0 to a 1 and Q1 bar from a 1 to a 0. This negative going signal at Q1 bar toggles f of 2 and so Q2 changes from a 1 to a 0. Hence, the state of the counter after the third clock pulse is 0 1. At the negative going edge of the fourth clock pulse, f of 1 toggles. So, Q1 goes from a 1 to a 0 and Q1 bar from a 0 to a 1. This positive going signal at Q1 bar does not affect f of 2 and Q2 remains at a 0. Hence, the state of the counter after the fourth clock pulse will be 0 0. For subsequent clock pulses, the counter goes through the same sequence of states. That is 0 0, 1 1, 1 0, 0 1, again 0 0, 1 1, 1 0, 0 1. 2-bit ripple up-down counter using negative edge triggered flip-flops. As the name indicates, an up-down counter is a counter which can count both in upward and downward direction. An up-down counter is also called a forward or backward counter or a bidirectional counter. A control signal or a mode signal M is required to choose the direction of the counter. When M equal to 1 for up counting, Q1 is transmitted to clock of f of 2 and when M equal to 0 for down counting, Q1 bar is transmitted to clock of f of 2. This is achieved by using two AND gates and one OR gate as shown in the figure. The external clock signal is applied to the first flip-flop f of 1. Now, the design of asynchronous counters or ripple counters. To design an asynchronous counter, first write the counting sequence, then tabulate the values of reset signal R for various states of the counter and obtain the minimal expression for R or R complement using the K-map or any other method. And provide this feedback R or R bar to all the flip-flops to reset it after the desired count. Now we can see how to design a mode 6 asynchronous counter using T flip-flop. A mode 6 counter has 6 stable states, that is 0 0 0, 0 0 1, 0 1 0, 0 1 1, 1 0 0 and 1 0 1. When the 6th clock pulse is applied, the counter temporarily goes to the state 1 1 0 but immediately reset to 0 0 0 because the feedback provided. It is called a divide by 6 counter in the sense that it divides the input clock frequency by 6. It requires 3 flip-flops. Why? Why? Because the smallest value of n satisfying the condition n less than or equal to 2 raised to n is n equal to 3. So 3 flip-flops can have 8 possible states, out of which only 6 are utilized and the remaining 2 states 110 and 111 are invalid. If initially the counter is in the state 000, then after the first clock pulse, it goes to 0 0 1. After the second clock pulse, it goes to 0 1 0 and so on. After the sixth clock pulse, it goes to 0 0 0. For the design of this counter, write the truth table. The truth table has been obtained in the figure as table 4R with present state outputs as Q3, Q2 and Q1 as the variables and reset R as the output, and obtain an expression for R in terms of Q3, Q2 and Q1. That decides the feedback which need to be provided. From the truth table, R is equal to Q3, Q2. For active low reset, R bar can be used. The reset pulse is of very short duration of the order of nanoseconds, and it is equal to the propagation delay time of the NAND gate used. The logic diagram, the timing diagram and the table for R of a modulo 6 counter are shown in the figure. Okay.